All right, y'all. Here we go. Once again, we got Derrick Jaxn is back in the house. Brother Derrick Jaxn is back in the house. I hope his family's okay. I hope everybody's okay in his household, and he's got his family life back in order. Hopefully, no matter what you think about the brother, man, we shouldn't be wishing bad on his family, man. So hopefully his household is in order. It probably is, in better order than it was. So that's probably why he's back. So hopefully that's the case. Even though I don't agree with him on a lot of different stuff, man. I never will wish bad on a man's family, unless they was partakers in, you know, the stuff against me. And anyway, Brother Derrick Jaxn has a problem with Brother Darrius M, who is this brother here. He's in this brother here. We all know what Derrick Jaxn does. He tells women what they want to hear. Brother Darrius M tells men what they need to hear to help them navigate through relationships and to try and have them have better relationships, better encounters with women. He shows them kind of how women think and, not so much the good part, but a lot of times how you can get caught up in something really ugly if you're not paying attention. So both men are pretty much diametrically opposed in viewpoint, but we're going to see Brother Derrick Jaxn is going to react to Brother Darrius M's video about why men do not want to date single mothers. And I'm going to react to this. I'm going to react to his reaction to that. So let's get to it.
This is why men don't want to date single mothers and take them serious. Imagine this. You wake up one day and you decide, I want to go buy a brand new car. So you take all the money that you saved up and worked hard for, you go down to your local dealership and you tell them, I want that car. It looks really nice. It's your favorite color. It has 0 miles on it, 0 previous owners, 0 accidents. So you purchase that car for $50,000. You drive it off the lot. Now imagine 8 to 10 years goes by. You get in a couple accidents, your check engine light's on, it needs some other work done. It has 120,000 miles on it. And you say, I want to go buy another car. So you take that same car you got for $50,000 back to the dealership. And you say, hey, I want to trade this in for $50,000 when I originally bought it from. You know what they're going to do? They're going to look at you and laugh. That sales guy's going to say, listen, I'm not going to give you that. It has a lot of damage on it, a lot of wear and tear. But I can give you $8,000. Are you going to get mad? Are you going to get frustrated? No, you're going to take that $8,000, take what you can get, and move on because you can't get full price of what you got it before. So this is how men view single mothers. Used, worn down, previous owners. Guys have ran it down and abused it and used it up. And women think that I want to get back on the dating market and get full price for what other men got for free. It's not going to.
Okay, so as you can see, Derrick Jaxn is having a problem with my man's viewpoint on single mothers, which is really, that's most men feel that way. Most men look at single mothers as used. They do. And they look at it like that. Most men look at a woman as a benefit to him, just like they look at a vehicle as a benefit to him. They look at everything as a benefit to him. That is part of being a man, the self-centeredness. This guy is not being genuine when he's saying that's not how most men look at it. Most men look at it like that. If most men didn't look at it like that, there wouldn't be no single mothers because men would be running to marry them. But single mother is the biggest category of single people out there. But, this is just not doing the math. He's just doing, hey, maybe it's just he wants to sell his free course or whatever. And, of course, that's the upsell you to something even better. But I mean, I can't see why you wouldn't tell women this stuff so that the younger ones would not participate in a behavior that would get them into single motherhood and then obviously lower their sexual market value on the dating market. But I don't know, for some reason, Derrick Jaxn is trying to, row upstream with no oars, right? But anyway, let's see what he got to say.
Gonna happen.
Normally I really appreciate y'all sending me videos, tagging me, and asking my thoughts, but I could have done without this one. But let's talk about it because there are guys who feel this way. However, not all. Not all.
Yeah, right. The 0.0001% that doesn't feel that way. Yeah. But most women don't even like those guys. They're not even attracted to those guys. Those guys are, what do you call it? The last call. You know what I mean? They deal with those guys as, okay, well, nobody else wants me. I'll take this guy. At least he got a job and he don't live with his mama. Okay. But that's not their first choice.
I looked at this video, I looked in the comments, and there was a lot of dudes saying this brother's speaking for himself, not us, not any man that we know. So let me first and foremost make...
There was a lot of people. What is a lot? What is a lot of people? See what I'm saying? They take 0.0001% and make that into, they extrapolate that into, like, that's the average guy. We talking to the average guy here. The average guy that gets hooked up with a single mom that's not financially and mentally prepared for it is going to make a huge problem for her, her children, and himself. Why would you push this narrative to these young guys unless you want them to just be wrecking balls through these single moms? I don't get it. Anyway,
make that clear. This does not represent all men, but there are guys who feel this way, and they're becoming more and more vocal these days for some reason. And whenever they say things...
What you mean for some reason? They're becoming more and more vocal because we got a place now on the internet where we can share stories with each other, and we can see that dating single moms without being financially and emotionally and spiritually ready for that, just because you want the booty, no, that is not going to work. You are going to do a disservice to yourself. You're going to do a disservice to the woman, and you're going to do a disservice to those children. Why ain't nobody looking at what's going to happen to these children if you just run? If guys are just out here hitting and running at single mothers, which is most of what happens. Most guys look at single mothers as low hanging fruit. So why are we allowing that? We should stop, guys. If you want to have sex without responsibility, leave single mothers alone. I don't think you should do that in the first place. But if you're going to do it, leave the single mothers alone, man. They got too much responsibility. They got children they're trying to raise. And you just run in there, you just want sex, and you perpetrating the role so you can get sex from the woman. And then you're going to dump her, and you know you're going to dump her. Why would you even play? Why play with these women? Why is Derrick Jaxn telling women to go and seek guys that's just, the average guy that messes with single mom, they want to just play with him. Why is he promoting that? I don't have no idea. Maybe it's because he got some financial incentive to do so. Anyway, let's move on.
Like this, I notice they always say, hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling the truth. Don't deflect. The message is the message. It's the truth. So how about this? We don't shoot the messenger. Let's just deal with the message because it's quite illogical. Now, he doesn't really clarify.
Wait a minute. What's illogical? Dating single mothers for guys with no children, young guys with no children, is a bad deal. 99.9% of the time, it's a bad deal for the guy. It's a bad deal for the children. The woman might have a little fun because she's getting a little attention from the guy whenever he wants to have sex with her. But the children, that's a bad deal. The guy that gets involved with that, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. How come? What's illogical about that? What's illogical for me telling the guy, hey, you're 21 years old, you're in your third year of college. Why are you messing with a single mom where you got to now come in and try to play dad for these children that aren't yours, help this lady financially. Why are you doing that? And if you ask any of these women, hey, would you send your son to go do that? Would you tell your son, your son come walking in the house saying, hey, mom, guess what? I met this great lady. I know I'm 22. She's 35. She has 3 children by her ex-husband, right? Plus, she's got all these issues, but I'm gonna help her. I'm gonna help her raise her children. Plus, I'm gonna help her pay her car and her house off. I'm gonna drop out of college to do that. The average woman would tell their child, "What are you doing?" They would say, "Son, don't do that," right? But they expect some other man to do that with them. Well, we got mothers too. We got sisters too that tell us, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" These young guys do not need to be involved with single moms. They don't. You don't even have the discernment to deal with them until you're around 40 years old. Then you can kind of start picking the, get to pick of the litter. You know what I mean? But when you're under 40 years old and you don't have your uh, you don't have your financial life together, you don't have your spiritual life together, you don't have your emotional life together, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're just chasing the sex. So I'm saying stop it. I don't know what Derrick Jaxn goal is by telling women that, it's good to be a single mom, and you should pursue that line of course. That you should pursue that behavior. I don't see what's happening. Single moms are the most single people out there because nobody wants to deal with that. Not nobody, but most guys don't want to deal with that, and it's not wrong, right? It's only wrong when men see when women come out and say, "Hey, I don't want to deal with a guy with children." Nobody says nothing. When they come out and make videos saying, "Hey, I don't want to deal with single fathers," nobody says nothing. It's absolutely nothing, right? You go, girl. You don't need to deal with that. No baby mama drama, right? When men come out and say, "Hey, I don't want to deal with no baby daddy drama. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the cost associated." Do you think you're going to be involved with a single mother? And of course, at some point, you're going to be expected to participate financially in this situation that's going on. If you're getting the cookie, eventually you're going to be expected to participate financially. You're going to be asked to spend some of your time with this single mom and her children, right? That's time you could be using to study on business, or study a craft, study a skill that you could go out to the world and put on the market and make money and build your financial house, get your financial stuff ready, right? But no, you're gonna have to sacrifice that time to deal with someone else's children. Imagine that. You're gonna work your time to push some other man's bloodline along. Ouch. Now, I will say this. Peace to the stepdads, because there's some guys that are made to do that. There's some guys they're cut like that. They can do that and they have no problem doing it. Peace to them. But most of you guys are not ready to do that. Most of you guys are not mature enough before the age of 40 to even handle the complexities of dealing with a woman that a single mom and all of her insecurities, and then on top of that, the insecurities of her multiple children. That's a fine line to walk, and you can damage a lot of people if you don't take care of that situation properly. Anyway, let's move on because I'm just talking sense. He said it was, I forgot the word he used, but he said it didn't make no sense what Darrius M was saying, and I was just like, what? What is he talking about? Make perfect sense what he's saying. Anyway, moving on.
What makes a single mother like a used vehicle with all of these different miles? Not experiences, not even looks, but just the fact that she has a child, I'm guessing. Like, I'm not really sure.
No, Derek. You want to know what it is? No. It's the used part. It's that vagina is used. Men don't want used vagina. They want clean, pristine vagina. We know we in America, you probably are not going to get clean and pristine vagina most of the time. You're going to get used, but you want the least used vagina. You're trying to get the least used vagina. You don't want a vagina that you know. You don't want a Kim Kardashian where you know this vagina has been used and abused. You don't want that. Men don't want that. Look what happened to Kanye West. He thought he could deal with that situation, but after a while, it just tore him up. It tore him up, the fact that he knew that everybody knew his wife's vagina was used and abused. It tore him up that she knew it was used and abused. She thought giving him children was going to make a difference. It didn't, because he had insecurities of his own, and most men do. Most men don't want used and abused vagina. He could not deal with it anymore, and he finally cracked. He finally cracked under the pressure of dealing with that knowledge. Men do not want used and abused vagina. They don't. Just especially younger guys, they just don't want that. They're not ready to handle that. They're just not ready to handle the idea that somebody else. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. To most men, you having children by another man they look at it as betrayal. I know women that are gonna say that doesn't make sense. I wasn't with you, so how could I betray you? I know that, but in a man's mind, it's looked at as it represents betrayal. That's just how men's mind works. That's seen as betrayal, and most men are never going to be comfortable with that. Not until they get to a certain age where their mind can handle that situation and not look at it as betrayal. That's usually up in the 40s. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what DJ got to say.
Sure, if it's the single part or the mom part, but I'm gonna guess it's not the mom part that makes a woman like a used vehicle with all these miles and not.
No,
really.
it's the use. It's the part of being that you have had relationships with other people, and you got walking, living evidence of it. That is what makes you used, right? That's what makes you. I'm talking about in a man's mind. In a man's mind, that's how men. This is how men think. I know women want to get mad at you for how men think. That's like you as a man getting mad at a woman because of how a woman thinks. A woman thinks how a woman thinks, so you got to just understand that. Well, women, a man, this is how men think about women that have children by other men. It gets better. It gets better.
It's valuable because if that's the case, then his mother was better off not having him, according to his logic. So I'm gonna take a wild guess that's
no, not according to. See, you see that right there. You see that right there. So he tried to say that his mom was better off not having him. He don't know if his mom was single, and even if she was, what does that got to do with him saying that single moms are used? What does that got to do with that? Because his mom might have been used, but if some dude came along and decided to wife her up, she got lucky. That's why I say to you women, anytime you got a guy that's willing to step in and be that guy and be a good dude, I just wouldn't chance that with a young guy, because a young guy will try. A young guy would be like Kanye West. They'll step in there, they'll try to do it. They'll with all their heart, they'll try to do that. But eventually, the knowledge of you being with other men they might not be able to handle that after some point, and they might get resentful and dejected, and then they start talking crazy because they feel like they've been betrayed. It sounds crazy. It don't make sense to nobody but men. Anyway, I just don't like these fallacy in logic that this man tries to flip. It's crazy. He thinks, well, I ain't going to say that, man. I'm not even going to insult the women about the way he thinks. Anyway.
What he's saying. Even though I'm sure she's looking at him talking this video, wishing she could have done some things differently, but that's neither here nor there.
There we go. Another shaming tactic, right? I'm sure his mother's looking at this video saying he should have did something different. How you know what his mama's saying? How you know his mama didn't give him the game that he's giving you now? But, you know what I'm saying, you are, I guess, the knight in shining armor for women, and you're going to go throw blows at anybody talking about single moms in a position. And the whole point we talking about it is not to put down single mothers. It's to protect the children, and it's to protect the men and to protect the woman. It's to protect everybody involved. And if the women have to go without male attention so that they can raise their children right, then they have to do that. I mean, what's the problem? What's the problem? But you trying to make men feel bad for having the preference of not wanting to be around single mothers or not date single moms, that's foolish. Nobody makes women feel bad for not wanting to date tall men. Nobody makes women feel bad for wanting to date rich men. Nobody makes women feel bad for wanting to date even Lizzo, even big old Lizzo. She wants to date a guy that's got money and a guy that looks good to her, right? Nobody says nothing to her about her preferences. But yet any man that says, hey, I got a preference. You got a preference? Oh my God. You're shaming. You're body shaming. You're shaming this. You're shaming that. It's a bad situation. Anyway, man, let's finish up, man, because I'm already 20 minutes in. Let's finish this up.
So it must be the single part, the part where a woman not only has a child, but is without a man, that makes her less valuable.
No, it's the child that makes you less valuable. It's the child. If you go listen, we are animals by nature. If you go in any animal kingdom, any group of animals, there's no such thing as a stepfather. And when a new male takes over a pride of women or a group of women, the first thing he does is run the women with cubs from another man out of the group. And the lions don't even play. They kill the cubs. That's the first thing they do is kill the cubs. When those women lions see that the new lion is winning, they got a decision to make. Either they're going to stay there and let their cub get killed, or they're going to take that cub out of there. Because they know what's going to happen. Men, stepfatherhood is not a natural occurrence in the animal kingdom. It is not. You do not see one bear come in and take over for another bear's children, raise another bear. You do not see another duck come in and raise another duck's children. You do not see no other animal do that except human beings. Animals that do stuff like that, the only other animals that do stuff like that are animals where the females are in such high demand or they are such low quantity that they will do that in any way. But are females in low quantity in human beings? No. They're in abundance. They're in abundance. There's no need to do something like that. The need is to stop having unprotected sex on both sides, men and women. Stop having unprotected sex unless you're ready to start a family with this person. That's the only way you should be having unprotected sex with somebody is if you're ready to have a family with them and you willing to you gonna commit to be with them for the rest of your life, or at least until those children get grown. But anyway, digressing.
But you don't even have to be a car expert to know the moment you take a new vehicle off the lot, the moment a new vehicle leaves the dealership, it depreciates, sometimes as much as 20% or more. So just in terms of this horrible reference of women being...
It ain't a horrible reference. It's a perfect reference for men. For men to get the idea, it's a perfect reference.
A new or even a used vehicle, it wouldn't be that the woman being without a man makes her less valuable. According to the vehicle reference...
No. It's the dings. It's the dings. A baby by another man is an accident. That's the reference. That's the relationship. A baby by another man is that would be considered an accident. So that's going to damage the value. Come on, man, stop it. Each baby is going to have a whole nother different, lower the value even more. That's just the reality of the situation. But this dude is disingenuous. Of course, he's trying to, get back in good with his clientele.
We would be the depreciator. We would be the downgrade.
Exactly. We are the depreciator. Your value is only what it means to us, not you. You don't set your own value. We do. Your value is set by us. And if we don't think children by other men is valuable, then you're not going to have a high value. Come on, man. Come on. Let's be logical.
Thing that will be taking value away from the woman at best. Now, at worst, if anything, we're more like the used vehicle. Because the whole point of a new vehicle costing more than a used vehicle with a lot of miles or any miles on it is that a new
listen to this bullshit. This dude's about to run down.
Vehicles expected to last longer. Therefore, you're supposed to get more benefit and utility, more usage out of it since the parts are newer and all that kind of stuff. But Google this, if you will. Who lasts longer? Who lives longer? Men or women?
Why do women live longer? Of course women live longer. They're getting alimony, palimony, child support. They're getting all the support. The government supports them. They're getting food from the government, housing from the government. They get money from the government. They get jobs from the government. They get everything from the government. A man have to do everything on his own. Of course they're going to last longer. Ain't nobody going to a woman. They get to do paternity fraud, and when they do the fraud, what happens to them? At maximum, maybe 6 months probation, a year probation. They ain't got to do no hard time. Man, miss a couple of child support payments. They trying to put him in jail. Then how you going to get the money? But does the state care? No, because they charge you 12% interest or more interest on that child support money. They don't care. Nobody cares when you're a guy. Nobody cares. Women expect you to just step in there and just fall on the knife, right? Everybody does. It's a sad situation. And I'm not saying all women are like that, but what I'm saying is, of course, women will last longer because they have much more support in this world than men do.
Women, about 5 to 10 years, according to statistics. So if anybody is most like a used vehicle that's going to require a lot of maintenance, that's going to break down at some point sooner than later, it would be us. But I think the reference of men or women being vehicles is silly. But something that's not silly, and I'm going to give him the benefit or try to create a positive in this somehow.
Okay.
Is the part where he's just stating his preference. If he had just said it was just him. It's okay if a man does not.
It's not, wait. It's not just him. It's not just him. It's not just him. The biggest group of single people is single mothers. That is the biggest single group of single people is single moms. That's numbers, brother. That's facts. So if single moms was so desired, they would be the smallest group, right? That's just the logic behind that, right? If single moms was that desired, they would be the smallest group that's single out there. But they're the largest group of single people out there. Come on, man, let's do the math.
Mother, nothing is wrong with that. Some guys don't want a single mom because it comes with all these conversations and sorting out if the one mother's going to put the child before him.
Exactly. If a woman's a single mom, the first thing she's going to say is, my children come first. My children come first. Why would anybody in their right mind get into a relationship where they know they're going to come last? There's no woman out there that would do that. If a guy said, hey, my children come first to a woman would be like, peace, right? But a man's supposed to be like, oh, I'm going to come last? Great. Great. Sounds like a great deal. Wait a minute. You got 3 children, so you come first, then child 1, then child 2, then child 3, then maybe me. Perfect. That's just what I was looking for. Why don't you guys move into my house today? I mean, come on, man. Get serious, Derrick. Get serious, man.
She really wanting him for him or just wanting somebody to play the role of a father? Is there any baby daddy drama? Things like that. And some guys just prefer not.
And baby daddy drama. He made baby daddy drama look like it's nothing. That's a serious situation, man. Just like baby mama drama. That's a serious situation. I understand why women don't want to date single fathers. They don't want to deal with their baby mama drama. But nobody understands when men don't want to deal with women with baby daddy drama. Oh, you ain't no real man. What? Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Not to deal with that. Okay, cool. There's a difference though between stating your preference and spewing ignorance and calling it.
Wait. What ignorance did he spew? He didn't spew no ignorance. The facts back up what he's saying, not what you saying. The facts, the numbers back up him, not you. You're the one that's spewing the ignorance. You're spewing what you want it to be like instead of what it is like. You know, what you want it to be and what it is 2 different things. But I understand. You got a clientele, you got to nurse back. So you got to be, the black white knight. I get it. But don't put this man down. Do your own thing, like you talking about. Do your own thing. Say, you the one need to be saying, this is my preference. Single moms are my preference. That's what you should be saying. Because this man is giving out good information, telling the young guys to stay away from single moms until they're ready, until they get to a certain point where they're ready to deal with that. That, to me, that's much more responsible than what you telling them. You saying that men are bad guys for not wanting to date single mom. No, that's not. Or he's putting out some bad information. What information did he put out that was bad? What did he say that wasn't true? Everything he said is backed up with the numbers. If single moms were so highly desired, they would be the smallest group of single people out there. But they're not the smallest group of single people. They're the largest group of single people out there. Facts.
Logic or trying to sound all philosophical and all that kind of stuff. And I'm confused as to why there's so much enthusiasm around these messages directed at single mothers telling y'all who don't want
No. These messages ain't, this man is not talking to single mothers. He's talking to young men. He's talking to young men. He's trying to keep young men from committing themselves to a situation that they absolutely are going to lose in most of the time. Most of the time. You're going to lose. This man is talking to young men, and he's being much more responsible than you. He's being much more responsible. He's thinking about the young men, the children, and the woman. And everybody's going to do better if the young men just leave them alone. Let the woman go and raise her children. And then when she gets to a certain age, then she can go back out into the dating market. But she got to understand, hey, you're going out to the dating market at a discount now. That's just the way it is. But see, nobody wants to tell women the truth. And I know you got a business of lying to women. I know that. You have a business of lying to women and telling them what they want to hear. You know what I mean? And you're going to nurse them to sleep again. Just like you did before. Nurse them to sleep, and then you nurse them to sleep again. And that's what you're doing. But I feel like what you're doing is very irresponsible. Don't talk about this man who's trying to get guys to not get themselves in serious problems. And you telling them, hey, you trying to shame them back into the plantation. No. He's trying to get them off the plantation, not even get them on the plantation. You trying to lure them onto the plantation. Not good, not good.
Like, I'm confused. I'm not seeing the same amount of energy coming from mothers, or single women, period, that is like begging for the once in a lifetime opportunity to be with a guy like this who's going to compare them to a used vehicle.
Go watch Kevin Samuel's show. You see single mothers on there all the time looking for high value man, whatever that is. I'm assuming it's a high earning man. They go on there and they say, I want a man making X amount of dollars, period. Where's your video on that, Derrick Jaxn? Where's your video on that? How shallow that is, right? Where's your video on that? You don't see single moms making videos like that? You don't see single moms making videos saying how shallow it is that a man doesn't want to deal with a single mom? I could go look that up right now. Think you're just in your own land, brother. You're just in your own land. And I understand, but I just wish you would stop it. At least don't drag nobody else in. This brother right here is doing a good work. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You do your work. If your work is to tell women what they want to hear, then go on and do it. But don't drag nobody else into it. He didn't have nothing to do with none of what you're talking about. He's just a brother doing his work on his own page, doing his own thing.
Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I must be missing something. Now, I have seen the energy from women and single mothers saying, hey, we want a good man. We want an evolved man who's secure enough within himself that he doesn't have to condescend and degrade us. We want to
Wait. Condescend and degrade. He ain't. Brant, he just stating the facts. He's just stating the fact. How come when women say, I want a man that's over 6 feet, I want a man that's making this much money, she ain't condescending and degrading dudes that don't make that much money? Where's your video on that? Where's your video on when women say, I want a man making X amount of dollars, I want a man over 6 feet, I want him driving this kind of car? Where's your video on that? Where's your video on how women are condescending and degrading men that don't make that kind of money? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Good man or an evolved man who has something going for himself and all this other kind of stuff. And if you want that type of brother, by the way, I did a free master class that tells you how to set yourself apart and to bring out those qualities that evolved men are looking for in a woman. It's at the link down in the caption or in the bio wherever you see it. And again, it's absolutely free. But y'all help me understand, single women, single mothers, are y'all checking for a guy who presents himself like this brother has presented himself? Because
no, they're not checking for dudes like this. They're not. They're checking for dudes that can appreciate being with a single mom. That's what they're checking for. What they checking for, every guy, they checking for dudes that's high earning. That's what they're checking for. First. Then once they realize they don't have a prayer in that category, then they go down the line to regular brothers. That's what they're checking for. But go watch Kevin Samuel's show or Kendra G's show. First thing come out of their mouth is, I want somebody making 200,000, 100,000, 300,000, whatever. Right? How many children you got? 3, 4, 5, whatever, right? But I guess we'll wait for your video on how those women are condescending to the brothers that's making $50,000 or $60,000. We'll wait for that.
I don't understand why he's making these types of videos, or why anybody would make these types of videos, other than to protect their already fragile ego.
No, I'll explain to you why he's doing it. He's doing it to keep young guys from stepping into financial landmines. This brother is a veteran, a United States veteran. He been in conflict. He knows what a dangerous situation looks like. He is trying to tell these young guys not to step into a situation where it's a dangerous situation for them. And single mothers are very dangerous people. Did you know that if you are with a single mother and you pay her bills for a certain period of time, do you know that single mother can go to the courthouse and say, this man been paying my bills for a certain period of time, me and my children been living a certain lifestyle based on him paying our bills. We need him to continue to pay our bills. They can go to court and they can get the court to go ahead and force you to continue paying their bills. How about that, Derrick Jaxn? Where's your video on that? Oh, we're not going to tell the guys about that, are you? I'm telling you why this guy is doing this stuff. He's doing it to protect these young guys. And I agree with him, and I think it's much more responsible than what you're doing. If you don't like his presentation, agreed. That's cool. I mean, I can understand you not liking it. But I don't see nothing wrong with him. I ain't never seen him in a video where he disrespected a woman. And I'm not saying he hasn't, but I'm saying I haven't seen none of his videos, and I've seen a bunch of them. I haven't seen him disrespect no woman, call a woman out of her name, and all of that. I have never seen none of that. All I see him do is put the brass tacks on the table, which is, this is not a good move for you. If you're a young guy trying to start your life out, taking on the responsibilities of other men is not a good situation. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, man, I'm at 40 minutes. Holy smokes.
Check the insecurities on you. So y'all let me know what I'm missing, because I must be missing something.
I'm telling you what you're missing, brother. You're missing the fact that this man's trying to protect these younger guys and not get them and protect these children. What you think is going to happen when these children have all these dudes trying to get with their mother? That's what we got going on right now. Because guys like you are telling women to go out there and still, try to be. You're not doing what this guy's doing, which is trying to, one, encourage men to wait until they at a certain they're at a certain level of maturity before they even start dealing with single mothers. Two, may spare the children the in and out process that one man comes in, then one man's out, then another man comes in, another man goes out, trying to spare the children that process. Then the next thing is spare the man of just having all of the issues that go along with dealing with a single mom. You got to come to an understanding with the dad, and don't even get me started on the fact that if this single mother has daughters, you're 10 times behind the 8 ball. Now you got to worry about that situation. I mean, it's just it's a mess. It's a mess especially for young guys. It's a mess. 21, 22, upwards to 40 years old. You're just not ready for that situation. You're just not ready. And you, Derrick Jaxn, are encouraging the situation. We need to be telling these young girls, don't put yourself in a situation. Protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you're going to be out there having sex, which you shouldn't unless you're having sex with somebody who has gave you the impression that they're going to commit to being with you, should a family be come up. But a lot of our women just want to have sex, not because they want to have sex, but because they feel like they have to have sex to get the attention that they want. See, that's what you need to be addressing. You need to be addressing why they're doing stuff like that. And then it ends up in a family gets created when all the woman really wanted was the attention. She didn't really want the child. She wanted the attention. But now she got a child based on her chasing the validation. Well, I hope you're going to make a video addressing that, Derrick Jaxn. Anyway, let's finish up.
I holler at y'all later. Y'all be good. Again, my free masterclass is Secrets to Making an Evolved Man Crazy is available at
free
the caption in
masterclass.
my bio. Holler at y'all later. Y'all be good. Peace.
Free masterclass. Free masterclass. So, what do y'all think? Y'all think Derrick Jaxn is giving out good advice? I don't. I think Derrick Jaxn is absolutely irresponsible. He is not trying to help single mothers live a better life. Because if you was trying to if you really wanted to help single mothers, what you would do is take all the single mothers in a room and you would say, okay, because based on the situation that you're in right now, this is the best way you should go. And then they would try to tell them how to be, have a man and how they should, how they can rise to the top of the heap by being even better than the average woman on the show. I mean, you got to go do extras now because you got somebody else's children. Now you got to do extras. And they need to bring single moms in the room and say, now you got to do extras. Just to compete at the same level, you got to be extra. But see, nobody wants to do that, man, because you're insulting single mothers doing that. And I don't think he insulted them. I just think he just said, hey, this is how men think about it. So if you're a young man, don't get involved with that situation. If you're a young woman, don't get involved in that situation. I think that's way more responsible than saying, get involved with it and then come to my free masterclass. Go out there and do all that penis stacking and become single mother and then come to my masterclass. Who's really thinking about who? Anyway, y'all tell me. Maybe I'm looking at it crazy. Maybe Derrick Jaxn's right. Maybe Darrius M is right. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Which one of us is right? Which one of us is trying to? I mean, to me, Darrius M is absolutely doing a good thing. He's doing the good work. To me, Derrick Jaxn is not. Very irresponsible the way he's approaching it, and then he's projecting to women this whole, poor us type of situation instead of arming them with information so that they can go out on the playing field and actually get somewhere. He's telling them, hey, we're gonna make the men feel bad, so they feel so bad they have to bow down and start dating single moms on a mass scale. To me, that's stupid. Like I said, if single moms were so highly desired, they would be the smallest group of single people out there. But they, by the numbers, are the largest group out there. Why? Because men do not desire that. Most men. Well, I know one man, my grandmother, he said my grandmother. Okay. But if you look at the numbers, you look at the data from the Census Bureau, and you'll see that single moms are the biggest group of single people out there. Right? I mean, this is just simple logic. If single moms were so great, they should be the smallest group out there. They should be the smallest group of single people out there, right? People should be running to them to scoop them up. But it's the reverse. People are running from them. And we trying to tell people, hey, don't live your life like that. Now, am I saying that all single moms, they're just dead to the world? No, but now you got to go and you got to find out, okay, how can I compete? And I got to compete at a higher level just to compete at the same level with the 18, 19-year-olds that's coming straight off the assembly line. I got to compete at that level. How do I do that? See, that's what you need to learn. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. Peace. Oh, I'm going to say this. Now I'll be saying, I'm always saying, never be the aggressor. But now I'm saying, protect yourself at all times. Gentlemen, protect yourself at all times. Ladies, protect yourself at all times. And gentlemen, never be the aggressor.